Says, how did you see that veteran play manifest itself like on the court?
I thought, we jumped out. I think we jumped out to the 4-2 lead in the fifth, and so that was the message, right? I've been on. An old AD, Jim Schaus, once told me he was watching one of our matches, and we got kind of hosed on a call late. We had a lead and we blew it in set 2, maybe. And then in set 3, we came out, we're pouty, and got our butts kicked. And he said, you kind of showed your age a little bit there. And I thought that was a good point. Now you can try and address it with a younger team on, hey, we're not going to pout, we're going to fight back. But, this group, I just wanted to remind it that we've been in fifth sets before. I think on the year we were 3-0 in the fifth set. So we leaned on that a little bit and just tried to come out and stay aggressive.
It was your 400th win as well. Just how's that?
Just that I'm getting older. I'm fortunate enough to keep the job that long to get that many.
Ella goes down partway through the fifth set, and you guys rally from losing a very important player. Just talk about the ability to rally and compose yourself after losing someone like that.
Yeah, Ella's a heart and soul type of kid. She is, at practice yesterday, she wasn't in there, and you just immediately could tell. So she means a lot to what we do. We actually. I want to say a timeout around 10 to 8 or something along those lines. I saw her sitting at the end of the bench kind of staring into nothingness, and I'm sure it had crossed her mind that her career could be over. And the least selfish kid in the world, right? But I just think in that moment she was distracted, and so we actually talked about trying to win this one for her and play fearless like Fody, and all of a sudden she stood up, come on, and just jumped in the huddle and just gave it everything she had, and then the team got into it and tried to win it for her. So we tried to use it to help us. And I think Yad even said in the presser that once she went down, they were even more motivated to win it for her. Sometimes that takes your focus away from other, your own problems, right, or your own struggles. Is, oh God, we got to do this, and you can forget about some of the bad things that have happened and focus on moving forward.
How's her ankle doing?
She's moving around. I don't know as far as Friday. I'm glad we play Friday and not Thursday this week, so hopefully that helps.
Right, you made the Sweet 16 2 other times, but you got to host, the first 2 rounds. What is it about this team that they have that mental edge? Like you said, fifth set, on the road, whatever it is, it doesn't faze them as much.
Yeah, we've over the 3 years, these guys have played in a whole lot of tough matches. We've played multiple top 10 teams in the country over the years, and we've taken people's best shots. We've pushed people to 5. We've gotten some of those wins, and so they're not really rattled by being defeated, right? If you walk through a conference season and lose 1 or 2 matches, were you pushed? And so, the top 10 strength of schedule in the country was on purpose, and I think that helped.
Just this week, looking ahead to Penn State, just what's the scouting reports would have been like for them?
They're really good. They're, we try to take a stance of, okay, if we make it past, who are we playing? Is it Texas or Creighton? And on Monday, we watch a little bit of that. Now, we know Creighton well enough, so we actually watched a little Texas. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is all Penn State. And so they're awfully physical. They're awfully good. They're a top seed for a reason. They're at home. We expect our hands to be absolutely full and need to play well to be able to compete with those guys.
This might seem like an obvious question, but how does having a senior-laden roster, how does that help going into an environment like that?
We actually talked about, when we're watching video, they had a Nebraska match that's just filled to the brim, and you can see a student section standing on the side and relatively close to the court, and they have a men's team that comes, and they might even be dressed in something silly and having a party on the sidelines as we get there. But our team actually thinks that's fun. They actually enjoy it. We actually just said in the locker room now, we laugh and joke and make fun of each other throughout regular practices. That's a bit of our culture. We have fun at practice. And so something saying funny, somebody heckling and being funny on the sidelines just makes us smile and keep going.
Just Hattie's blocking this year overall, her blocking numbers are at the best they've ever been, and she's been a real force on the net. Just what makes her so good on the net defensively? She
just keeps learning. It's really impressive. At the beginning of her career, she redshirted, and it was coming, and then it was about October her sophomore year that was okay, you're making the right decisions, you're making the right reads, you're seeing things better 80% of the time, and then it became 90% of the time, and even more and more. And then if she makes a mistake, her ability to recover is better than it's ever been. She can reach outside a body line. Her hand strength is great, so anything that touches it can get stopped. So she's seeing it better. She can take more chances, and just her level of experience is, I think, what's just making her better and better.
What new things have you learned about your team just in the postseason that maybe you didn't know up through the regular season?
I mean, that effort, Saturday night or Friday night, to be up 2-0 and then playing in a fifth after you let one squeak by, just the courage and the ability to come back and just fight point for point against a whole lot of a momentum. And I don't know if I've ever seen us, every time a team got momentum against us, just respond the way we did in that match. Even though we lost 2 of the sets, it was just like, we'll take your best shot, and then we'll come back, and we'll come back. And we just kept doing that. I don't know if I've ever seen this group fight that hard for that long.
I think you've been asked any possible question about Aubrey. You could ever be asked just because she's so dominant. But again, this weekend, she just went off. And have you seen her grow maybe in just this year instead of her whole career?
Yeah, we raised her set a little bit this year in terms of tempo, and she likes it a little bit better. And I think it helps her score more points. It might at times not be as efficient because she's going to have more blockers on her, but with her velocity and her ability to adjust to the set a little bit better, I think it gets her more points. And then her back row attacking, we flipped her from the 0-1 to the 0-2, which means she's back row attacking more often when there's only 2 hitters in the front, so she gets a couple more kills that way. Her overall ball control is by far the best it's ever been. It went from trying to find ways that she wouldn't have to pass to having her be a primary passer. So it's been a really fun. I think I was one of her first phone calls when she was back when it was legal, when you could talk to a 15-year-old, right? So I think I've been watching her since she was probably 14 or 15 years old. So it's been really nice to watch her this year play this well all the way around.
Natalie Rang this year, obviously having a career season. I listened on the broadcast. You said she was the future of the program. And then she got the game winner against Florida Gulf Coast. Just when you look ahead, just where do you see where she can be?
Yeah, I mean, her ability to score points and just relentlessly. I mean, she can hit it 55 miles an hour with a 2-step approach, and she's going to do it as often as she can. And what she really has learned over the course of her 2 years here is when she can't, what should she do? And so she's really, and she just keeps getting better at that. She had 3 shots at practice yesterday that, I saw 3 out of 10 swings that I've maybe seen 3 times total. So she's just really kind of feeling hand contact and things she can do effectively. And if she keeps getting better at that, what you'll see next year that you didn't see this year is she's a terrific back row attacker. And we don't have her in back there right now just because of some of the other little things that we do. But when you see her bringing it from the back row next year, I think she's got a 5-kill-a-game type of kid.
She's pretty calm. Is there anything you're worked up about, or is it hay in the barn and here we go?
Yeah, let's just go get it done, right? It's easy. Doing this is just simple. The transfer portal opening Sunday that doesn't make anything even harder, or the visits that are here now on campus. We just keep rolling with it. I got a good staff doing all the hard work, and then I just show up at these.
How fun is it, though? I mean, sometimes you have to say, yes, we have serious business, but yet it just seems like this team has a spirit about it that it's fun.
They're pretty, yes, you are absolutely right. It is fun. We got a couple of compliments after the match, from people watching at home, from people in the stands that, man, at 10-8 in the 5th set, your kids are coming out of the timeout smiling. And you can see the interaction that they're having is fun. And so that makes it pretty easy. And they're also pretty good at compartmentalizing. We went and watched video, now they're going to lift and they're going to come on the court and get ready, and then boom, it's practice. Some of them are done with finals, some still going. Some kids more injured than others. But when we roll the ball out there, they do a pretty good job 80 to 90% of the time.
Can you talk about how impressed you were with having, once Ella Fody went down, how impressed you were with the bench, staying engaged all through 5 sets, being able to come out and still just stay with the ball on the roll. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, we really had 4 different people step up and do Fody type things. We had Adriana play some right back defense, and she had a couple of good digs. We had Jaden come in and serve because Fody couldn't. She served match point. I think she had 2 in a row at the end to win it. She had a sweet right back dig. Then we had Morgan go in rotation 1 and play right side because she hits a slide pretty well. And then we had Cece play rows 2 and 3 where Fody normally does. So we used like a 4-player off the bench combination for her spot, and all of them crushed it. It was really cool to see.
Does that, just watching those bench players step up, and I know some of the people you mentioned are seniors in the league, does that, even though you're losing so many key players, just give you confidence just looking ahead?
Looking into next year?
Yeah, sorry.
You know, the spring is my favorite actually time of the year because the scores don't count. But just to develop the next year's team. So this spring, we have 3 of our freshmen coming in early. You know, there's a chance we'll pick up another player as well. We'll have 13, 14 people. And so, you know, I trust our processes and our ability that you give me 13 or 14 people in a spring semester to get ready for next fall, I think we'll be able to win some games next year too.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.